Wow. So a lot has changed since the last time I updated you on my Rainbow Six Siege tournament that I'll be holding over on my Twitch channel. First off, I am now a member of Disrupt GG. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for the Disrupt GG again for that. There will be a video at the end of this video explaining more about that if you're curious, but let's move on to the tournament. I am honestly blown away with how many teams have already entered the tournament that right now I am cutting off the entry for the tournament. If you have received an email back from me saying sounds good, I will send you a video link or something like that in the next couple days. Well, this is that video link and you got that email, so you're good. You're in the tournament. Right now, we have 28 confirmed teams, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave 4 slots open for the next few days for a sub to make a team themselves, to give them a little time if they have yet to finalize a roster. And if we do not have 32 teams by the draw show, I know I previously stated that we will have a first round bye at random, but I am now changing that. The first round bye will now go to the teams that have the longest term sub. Basically think of that as their home field advantage. They've been supporting me a long time, so them and their team go ahead and receive a first round bye. But again, that's only if we do not have 32 teams. If we have 31 teams, we get 1 first round bye. If we have 30 teams, we get 2 first round byes. You get where I'm going here. And I'm gonna go ahead and start this out by saying I do realize that some of these reveals, some of these announcements may be very inconvenient for you, yourself, or your team. So instead of me saying I'm sorry for the inconvenience after everything I say, we're just gonna go ahead and say it right here. I am sorry for your inconvenience if that is the case. But this is how the tournament will go, and if you cannot unfortunately go by those tournament rules, you will not be allowed into this tournament. Again, I am sorry, but we will have more tournaments in the future, and since I realize how popular this is now, I'll be able to plan this out better in the future. So let's go over those rules. First off, I know I stated that the tournament would start September 21st and end September 22nd. That is not the case anymore. The tournament now will start September 14th and 15th, being the first round of games. Being as though I plan on having 32 teams for this tournament, I have to plan for 16 games for the very first round, plus all the other games that have to happen after the first round. So right now, the very first round is gonna be held September 14th and September 15th, with 6 games being played on Friday, and with 10 games being played on Saturday. With the winners of the first round on September 14th and September 15th going on to the next round for September 21st and September 22nd. Right now, for those teams that have already emailed me and have entered the tournament, you should be receiving this video link in an email as well. If I do not hear back from you by this Tuesday, which is September 11th, if I have not received an email back from the person who originally emailed me with their team and their team roster, you will be disqualified from the tournament. Again, I need to know you are competing, and I need a confirmation email by September 11th, this Tuesday. Because what we will be doing on my Twitch channel on Wednesday, September 12th, is we will draw the games, basically drawing the teams. So by the end of my stream on Wednesday, you will know which day you will be playing, Friday or Saturday. You will also know the time in which you are playing. And for an example on how the timing is gonna be paced throughout this tournament, on Friday, September 14th, I'm gonna start my stream at 3:30 p.m. with the very first game being played at 4 p.m. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, these are all Pacific time zones. Do remember this. This is Pacific time zones I'm talking about. So let's say you're not slated to play until 6 p.m. on Friday. You must be there full, ready to go at 5:30 p.m. In case games go fast, someone no shows. If I call you at 5:30, 30 minutes before your original playtime, that is still considered a disqualification. So even though your playtime is 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., whatever, you need to make sure you and your team are ready to go 30 minutes prior to that. Even though the game may not even start until after your original time slot, I need you ready before the original time slot, just in case we need to keep things rolling. And when I call your team, you have 10 minutes to be ready with your entire team. Now to go over some of the playing restrictions during this tournament. Again, if these do happen, this is your warning. If any player on your team dirty shields a window one time, that is considered a disqualification. I previously stated that would be just a round lost and you will go to the next round, but we will not be doing that. We're gonna penalize heavy on this. If you dirty shield and I notice it, chat notices it, or another player in the enemy team notices it, you are disqualified from the tournament and you automatically will lose the game. Please do not bring a mouse and keyboard into my tournament. Let's play fair. If for some reason someone thinks they are getting mouse and keyboard abused, please do record your death replay, which is why I'm keeping death replay on, so that way I can see the perspective of that individual, just in case if it's a little too suspicious on the aiming. If it comes down to the fact that someone is basically saying they think another person is using a mouse and keyboard, I will be the one and only vote there. If I decide that I think you are using a mouse and keyboard, your whole team is done for the tournament. Again, it is my decision. I will make that call. I know there is going to be implications throughout this tournament, but I'm going to make the call. I know there's probably some other gameplay restrictions exactly I'm not thinking of at that moment, so if you have any yourselves, please email me at twitchtvbarrow34@yahoo.com, which will be in the description below, or have your team captain follow me on Twitter. This is not a way for me to try to get Twitter followers. You can just unfollow me at the end of it, but I may update it throughout, let's say, the next week or so if I go ahead and think of another rule that I want to go ahead and address. What I'm going to have in the description below as well is a link to the ESL rules for the Xbox One tournaments they held themselves. Again, we are playing with those rules with a little bit of difference, but for the full list of everything you want to know, click on that. Again, any questions, just email me. Now, this upcoming rule is going to unfortunately have to be the way it is. Right now on Xbox One, there is very, very heavy problems with the disconnects. Even when I was holding sub games this past Tuesday, we had a lot of disconnects in our private matches due to the Xbox One. So please do understand as I say this and do relate this to your team. If someone does get disconnected during the game, we will not be restarting the game at all. So I heavily advise every single one of you, before your match time, hard restart your Xbox. Again, hard restart your Xbox. Unfortunately, that will not cure all the disconnects. I already know some are going to happen, but I found if you hard restart your Xbox, you're normally good for a match or two before the DC problem has another effect of maybe coming back. So again, please do hard restart your Xboxes before your match. And unfortunately, if you, a teammate, an enemy team, if multiple people DC, we will not be restarting the round. And with that notion as well, backpacking on that, make sure as far as when you're picking your maps, some maps I personally find having a higher DC rate than others. Out of the Pro League maps, I find Coastline, Border, and Clubhouse to be very DC heavy. So think about that. If you are the first team banning the first 3 maps, maybe you want to get those 3 maps out of the way. Or if you're the second team picking the map, maybe you don't want to pick one of those 3 maps because they have such a big, heavy issue on DC. Again, that is all up to you if you would like to proceed that way. And even though I need to know by Tuesday that your team is participating, I'm giving you until Friday, the morning of the start date of the tournament, to finalize your roster with any extra players you want to add. That's mostly of everything I wanted to go over. If you have a question in your mind, please, again, give me a quick email. And in my opinion, I do have a very crazy good announcement that I will be announcing on September 22nd, right before the finals of the tournament. And the finals of the tournament will be the only one that will be a best 2 out of 3. But right before that finals, I have an announcement that we are going to be, well, announcing that I'm excited for. And maybe you can look forward to that as well. So again, I thank you so very much for letting this word spread on this tournament, getting 28 confirmed teams. So now we are at a $750 prize pool. And I honestly thought I would have a hard time getting 8. And now I'm sitting here with 28. It feels kind of good. And now I'm a member of Struck GG, so it feels even better. And before we sign off, as a personal favor to me, if you have any friends you have yet to tell about this tournament, please do so if they're interested in checking it out. This is also a way to help promote my own individual talents here on twitch.tv/barrow34. I would highly appreciate you telling them about my channel. The best form of flattery is word of mouth. So if you can go ahead and tell everyone that you know on Twitch to stop by and watch you compete in my tournament, let them know, and I would appreciate that as well. So thank you guys so much for participating. I can't wait to go ahead and have the draw show on Wednesday. Again, I need to go ahead and receive an email from your team captains by Tuesday. And please do realize, whoever is emailing me, I'm considering that person the team captain. So I hope everyone has a lot of fun in this tournament. And just remember, I am Disrupt, and I am here.